Greetings, Striker the Hedge Fox here. Hopefully this works. I have never tried OBS on Linux before. Yes, I'm not on my usual desktop setup right now. As you can see, I'm on KDE. I recently got TerminalFury compiling on Linux, and it's available for people to play. It might be fairly buggy. I haven't really done a whole lot of testing on under Linux, but that's kind of what I'm gonna try to do today. So yeah. Recently I got this released. You know, people can download and play this now. It's not where I really want it to be yet. There's a lot of missing features and there's still a lot of bugs, but I'm getting there. As you can see, it's running fairly well. And also, I got controller rumble support. It might be kind of hard to see on stream. Hang on a second here. I'm used to the camera being over there. Yeah. But as you can see, there's a vibration motor going off every time I fire. Figured I'd try to beat F-Zone here, just to see if everything works as intended. Now, hopefully my stream chat will work. I can't see it in the usual dock, because the YouTube dock is not available on Linux OBS, from the looks of it. Ooh, BFMs. Nice. Oh yeah, and the intensity of the controller vibration depends on the power of the weapon that you're using, too, so if it does more damage, the more intense the vibration. And the afterburners, they have like an impulse when you start, like you get this nice heavy shake, and then as you're just flying around, it just has a low rumble, and then when you stop, it has like a really sudden, like, shock to, like, give you the feeling that you're stopping very quickly, and the G-forces are kind of like pushing you ahead. I always hate trying to chase after the trains on this mission. In the ass when you don't have afterburners. Yeah, I'm going towards it, but it's getting farther from me. So I'm gonna have to intercept it the other way. My microphone probably isn't gonna sound as good as it does under Windows because I have a bunch of like equalization and shit under voice meter there. Hopefully it's good enough though. All the dead-on missiles. Nice. Bam. Get out. Get off my tail. You know. More afterburner. That's exactly what I want. Sweet. And it's building up behind me. Oh, I'm getting fucked up. Shit. Well, fuck. That was unexpected. Fucking careless like a dumbass and got fucked up. Fucking hate myself sometimes. Alright, time for me to not be a retard and actually do this right. Ooh, RFLs, just what I could have used those last time. There we go. One by one. Jeez. This mission always was tough. Well, getting lots of SKLs this time around. away from me this time. I am on Kubuntu right now. If I said KDE Neon earlier, I made a mistake. I used to be on KDE Neon, but I'm on Kubuntu. I'm going for a tunnel. Getting away from all that noise. Ugh, I'm getting nervous. Shields are getting rather low. Double kill. Oh, you don't. You get away from me. Alright. I hope I find a shield pickup here soon. Wait, I have an FFF, don't I? Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm using it, because I don't want to risk it. Oh, and there's another FFF right there. Nice. Yeah, this has come a long way. Like, when I first got a Linux build going, this was really crash-prone, and there was, like, corruption everywhere. A lot of out-of-bounds memory accesses, and all kinds of shit. Especially because of the difference in random function ranges and stuff like that. Oh, I'm trying to remember what that was. Was that the oh fuck, I can't remember the name of the... It was like the DLC for Doom 2. Legacy of Rust. Yes, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Glad I could help. Oof. Nice to hit there. Oh yeah, one thing that's kind of cool is the force feedback. It's the intensity of getting hit is based off of the actual strength of the laser hitting it too. So if you take a lot of damage, you'll really get shaken up. Now if only I could get my hands on an old Microsoft Sidewinder force feedback joystick, I'd try to get that working. That'd be cool. But they're kind of difficult to track down on eBay now. Especially a working one that doesn't have a burned out motor. But I already have way too many joysticks. I got like 2 on my desk here. And a 3rd one on the other side of my piano. And, oh yeah, there's a fucking 3rd one. 54th. Brain. Yeah, I got Precision Pro, 3D Pro, Logitech Attack, Cytec X52, and yeah. And of course, just my Xbox controller. Added a modifier, the custom edition with the drop plasma rifles. Yeah, that's a good idea. I really need to get back to work on my Zandronum, like, map data ACS feature, because I was working on the ability to parse maps using ACS, like, down to, like, the line def number, vertex number, so on and so forth. So you can, like, iterate through, like, map line defs and vertices and modify them, or add actors or other things based off of, like, where they are. Or, like, based off of their textures and so on and so forth. It's a really powerful feature. I use it for Simply Hard, but I haven't like submitted my patches to the Zandronum devs yet because it's not finished. Hellbender? On this engine that I'm playing right now? I'm actually planning on playing through Hellbender next. And so that's the one that I really haven't tested as much as the other games. Which is ironic, because this actually is the Hellbender engine. I started with Hellbender, but then I forward-ported Terminal Velocity and Fury 3 into it, and got that working almost better than Hellbender. That's also why you see the Hellbender targeting reticle and yeah, like targeting reticle for like the seeking missiles, like the seeking missile behavior is whatnot straight from Hellbender instead of TV. And like when you're seeing your objective there, that like diamond, that's a Hellbender feature. I decided to just keep for Fury 3 and Terminal Velocity because it's a nice quality of life. Yeah, you might have heard a lot of these sound effects in SMMP, because I added the Fury 3 and Hellbender ships to that way back. Alright, that mission's complete. I'm gonna save my game. For some reason, and just a heads up for anyone watching, save games are not compatible between Linux and Windows for some reason, and I have no idea why. They should be binary identical, going by the code, but maybe there's something with the structure padding or something like that. Maybe there's something weird going on there. Because the way it works is it just straight up byte for byte dumps the game structures into a file. I may eventually turn the excuse me, the saves into something like text-based. Although that might balloon up the file size a lot, because they're already fucking big. They're like 4 megabytes a save. Because it has to save all the vertex data for the terrain. Well, to be fair, the terminal velocity in Fury 3 saves could probably be shrunk a little bit. Like if there's no box quakes or terrain quakes available, I should make it so it doesn't save those, because that is a big contributor to the file size. It's just saving a bunch of blanks because there's nothing there. It's just that I don't really want to touch the save format too much, because I don't want to like make people's save files incompatible like between versions. But I might have to just add like a version header to them and be like, hey, if this doesn't match, just say, like refuse to load it, say, hey, these aren't compatible. It's just the save load process is very spaghetti code and convoluted too, so it's gonna be kind of annoying to get that going. I'll figure it out sometime. I'm getting all the servokinetic lasers from those turrets. I mean, so far so good. I haven't had a crash or any, like, unusual behavior. There's a lot of compiler warnings, though. There's a lot of stuff with, like, how would I say, well, just, like, buffer-sized shit and whatnot. You gotta keep in mind that this code base is very fucking old, so like a lot of like the print calls and stuff like that aren't exactly secure. They definitely be prone to like buffer overflow. So that basically just means don't download any shifty mods. This isn't even ready for mods yet anyway. Are these the correct textures? I can't tell. There's some things about how the texture caches handle that I need to make adjustments on. I was having issues with it earlier, especially if you flush the cache or whatever, it like starts to go to invalid pointers and stuff like that. I fixed all cases of that I've experienced, but I need to harden it from those situations. Because the way, like, it loads the textures and then it caches the index for that texture, so that way it doesn't have to do a hash table lookup every time a new not a new texture, but every time it has to look up a texture. Oop, my controller disconnected on me. Shit. Come on. There we are. I hate USB micro B. Such a frail connector. Jesus. I get fucked up. Time to run. Ooh, lasers. More. Ooh, and shield. Pick up just what I need. At least I got lots of afterburner to get away. No. Oh. But yeah, the problem with caching the index like that is if you flush the texture cache, it those indexes get left dangling, so it tries to like look up a texture that hasn't like been freed, and obviously that's not how that should go. And it's a nightmare to go and try to iterate through all the models and like world geometry, like texture slot caches and stuff like that, like to flush them to 0 again. That's just... yeah, so I might just go back to being, like, having a hash table lookup every time. Although that is slower. Not by much, though. But it is more resilient. More resilient and just, again, doesn't require me to go through every fucking resource and try to reset the slot pointer. Anyway, that's just a bunch of technical mumbo-jumbo to a lot of people. That's just me ranting to myself, I guess, because I got so much shit to do still. It's a way for me to remember to do it, I guess. Wasn't trying to launch a beacon there. Whoa, slow down. Damn. Nice. Around it again. Ooh, I have an idea. Right, you bastards, get over here. Let's slow down. And bam. That was satisfying. Absolutely nuked, yes. Also, after I'm done with F-Zone here, I got a little surprise to show everyone. It's not going to be released right away, because I can't build app images, but yeah, without saying what it is, there's another brand of Linux that this supports, sorta. I say sorta supports because I can't build the app images yet. I'm running into issues with the builder for it keeps on freezing, and I don't know why. I submitted the bug report to the Linux deploy guys, and hopefully they can figure out what's going on. Ooh, that's a lot of enemies. Took out a big chunk of them with that burst, but... There we go, that's better. Some temporary peace and quiet. Oh, nice little feature I wanted to show people. I added the ability to reassign the axes that are considered the left trigger and the right trigger, because sometimes you'd end up with something that wasn't a standard setup, so... So yeah. I needed to do that because, for some bloody reason, with Xbox One controllers, the left trigger and, like, right stick axes are swapped. Like, the X and Y on the stick is swapped and the trigger is swapped, and it's like, fuck, why? So that means you have inconsistent behavior between Windows and Ubuntu, like Linux, or just any Linux distro. So you have to have, like, either separate code for each, like, OS to handle the different axes, or... Or just allow the person to reassign them, which was the easiest route, so... Jeez, this thing's just trying to ram me. Grabbing speed! Let's just go to the next mission. Man, I wish there was an Acreon remix of this song. The Fury 3 CD version of this song, or like the F-Zone CD version of this song, just sounds too much like a circus to me. This version sounds weird and alien, and I like it. And if there's a remix that kind of matched that, that'd be kind of cool. So satisfying blowing up these railings. I'm getting fucked up though. least I got lots of Vipers to use in there. You know, while I said this thing isn't quite ready for mods, that's not 100% true. It is ready for things like high-resolution texture packs. So, hopefully I'll start seeing some stuff like that from the community. High-resolution sound packs are another thing that can be made. It's just that the level editor is not ready. There is a third-party level editor being worked on, though, called JTrax 2. Or just JTrax, I think. And that's being made by KMaster. And it's going to support, like, Hellbender and, like, Fury 3 and Terminal Velocity and whatnot, so that would be a good way for people to start making their custom levels and whatnot. Now, it doesn't support, like, PNG textures or things like that. I'll have to collaborate with him on that. Get freaked up again. Do I... Oh, there's a shield power up right there. I'm gonna waste an FFF then. Invisibility. Since you're all circling that point, let's just light them up. Yeah. Quit dodging my shit. There you go. fire. There we go. All clear. Hopefully I don't regret using that. But I just wanted to get all that noise off of me. It's hard to hit. Yeah. Partly because they actually actively try to avoid your crosshair. There's an AI routine that's like if the enemy ship is in your sights, it changes direction to try to throw your aim off. It's one of the improved AI behaviors from Hellbender. I didn't do that game-wide, just when you're in tunnels, because the AI code for those actually avoid the chamber walls. When they're just everywhere, the game becomes really, really hard. I might add like a difficulty option or like a check mark to enable the Hellbender AI for all ships in all situations. Could be interesting, I guess, but I guess I'll have to see if people actually want that. The Hellbender ships are way tougher. I have been pondering maybe making that part of Nightmare difficulty. stretch for a minute. Arms are starting to seize up. don't know why I did that, but I did it because it was fun. I'm just like blowing up those railings. Railways, I should say. Just be like a part of a monorail system or something like that. Oh, yeah, bots. Chrissy fucking changed direction just as I was... just trying to lead them a bit, you know. Ugh, got lots of RFLs though, that makes my life easier. Oh, shit, I was gonna go for those bunkers and I didn't turn quick enough. Oh well, whatever. Jeez, that was a lot of enemies trailing me. Alright, another save. Well, so let's just delete some of my old ones. Save precious space. Got lots of BFMs. Might as well use them. I'm getting fucked up. I think I noticed that. Save some of my BFMs. Start using my Vipers. Got 200 of the damn things. Hey, more BFMs. Man, Fury 3 is much more generous with the missiles than Terminal Velocity is. Terminal Velocity is like very, very few missile pickups unless you go to the secrets. If you just go through your intended route, you'll basically come across none. Fury 3 is like, you have a missile, and you have a missile, and you have a missile. Missiles everywhere. Yes, and I actually prefer that, because you actually have more of an arsenal to take with you. Although one could say it makes the game significantly easier. Terminal velocity is actually pretty fucking tough sometimes. Especially in the third mission. And by third mission, I mean third episode. Mission complete. Jeez, how much health those things have. Apparently a lot. I'm surprised there's no boss in that mission. This cutscene has a nice reference to Hellbender. Or I should say, some foreshadowing. Those are the drop ships from Hellbender right there. A number of the models here are also reused in Hellbender. Those Manto fighters are a thing. Hellbender, also these buildings here were reused. It's always interesting when assets get reused in games. Rather, between games, I should say. What is like the soundtrack for this mission? It's my favorite track in F-Zone. The song came back in Hellbender as well, at least under the module music. Lots of Vipers. That's a lot of lasers. And somehow did not get hit by a single one. There's like the more elaborate chamber areas here as well. Nice. I already got one. sure why the targeting range of my Vipers is so short. That's not usual. I'll have to check out, see what's going on there. first dispersion cannons I've seen so far. Well, there was another drop earlier, but hasn't been very many. These are giving lots of it here. Well, the dispersion cannon in Terminal Velocity in Fury 3 kind of sucks. To be completely fair. Ooh, that was actually getting kind of dizzying. One enhancement from Hellbender, though, that I've kept in TV and Fury 3 is the ability for the ion cannon / dispersion cannon to fire backwards. So it shoots in front of you and behind you, which makes it a little bit more useful. As you can see. Pretty useful for dispersing enemies gathering up behind you. Get up the tail. Really wish I knew why the textures were flickering on AMD hardware. I'm on NVIDIA, so it's fine here, but hopefully I can either track down some affordable AMD GPU or maybe somebody will be willing to donate one eventually. Because again, I am on like no income. I live on assistance because I have several like learning disabilities and physical disabilities too with my fucking screwed up neck and back. I was in a pretty bad car accident a long time ago, so can't really be on a job where I'm standing for long periods or lifting heavy objects. So like warehouse jobs and things like that would be no bueno, but retail, like standing up at a retail counter, I did that for a while, and that was an excruciating pain by the end of the day, so yeah. Making money is hard right now. As far as my learning disabilities, I've tried to complete my high school, tried to complete college. Or rather, like, what they call academic upgrading was it's like, you're at college, but it's like a high school equivalent degree. I tried that, and my brain just freezes up at trying to, like, read any kind of, like, academic papers and stuff like that. It's not just that it's boring as absolute fuck, but it's also, like, it's just my mind does not retain it. I'm a person who, like, learns by, like, doing, like, and, like, picking things apart, seeing how they were either made or how they were, like, how would I explain it? Like, for example, in mathematics, I'm better off when I start with the answer, in the sense that, like, I can, if given the answer, I can reproduce the steps to get there without knowing the steps. Like, I have the mind of a reverse engineer. Like, I take something that is complete and then break down the steps to get there. So, like, for example, that's, like, TerminalFury actually started off as a reverse engineered project. Like, before I had the source code, I was reverse engineering the assembly. And, like, my mind is just suited for that kind of thing. Like, and of course, when I got the source code, like, just looking at how everything is pieced together and improving my knowledge base on that. And that's how I became a better programmer and whatnot. Like, I taught myself through example. But the schools don't really accommodate that learning style, I guess. That's been my struggle since forever. Always hated, like, word problems and stuff like that, too. Like, that's just not how my brain works. Don't care about how many fucking chocolate bars Jimmy has. Like Are these things in front of me? No. And my brain doesn't care. Like, I can solve mathematical problems when I'm actually, like, in the situation in real life. That's how I can, like, do what I do with this. Like I see a problem, like a practical problem to solve, and I can use, like, I can visualize the math to solve it. But try to get me to do that on a fucking piece of paper? Nope. Ain't happening. I just don't do imaginary situations, imaginary problems. Not that I don't have an imagination, like, I can picture things quite well, it just depends on what it is. Anyway, it's kind of hard to explain. Maybe someday I'll make another attempt at getting my high school degree. Just need them to understand that I don't learn the neurotypical way. And hopefully they'll be more accommodating. Actually, what I would really like to do is just get into a programming course without all the other fucking extraneous bullshit that was necessary to get into the programming course. Like, I tried to get into a programming course a long time ago, like, back when I was still, like, a teenager. But no, you got to have your history, you got to have your social studies, you got to have all your home ec and stuff like that. Apparently I need to learn how to bake cookies before before I can program. I already know how to cook anyway. I love to cook them. I'm just kind of exaggerating in that case, but it's just like, apparently I need to know what year fucking George Washington was born to write C++. It's fucking bullshit. It's like, why not just, you know, prove that I can put in the work and then get into the course that way, but no. I'm already doing what those courses would have entailed, as evidenced, as you're seeing in front of you. Anyway. The education system sucks. It's not to say that I'm not educated either. Like, you know, I paid attention in school and whatnot, and I absorbed as much as I could. Like, I'm not a complete idiot. Like, I still retain most of my history lessons and a lot of my math. Like, I still can add and multiply and whatnot. Division I've always had difficulty, though. At least doing it mentally. Like, trigonometry, I can't do in my head at all, but I can obviously do it in the programming context here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten as far as I have. Fuck, I wouldn't have figured out the fucking 3D matrix math required to get these engine tracers, like, working. That was a breakthrough that I was really proud of, because, like, I couldn't figure out matrix math for a really long time, especially rotation matrices, and, there they are. They're working. Oh yeah, this is my custom mission that I was working on. It's not complete, though. Anyway. What I wanted to show you guys something, though. Let's go get the audio for that for a minute. I'll get back to this and maybe start some Hellbender or something like that in a moment, but, just 1 second here. Let's go into OBS, switch this to webcam only for a moment. Alright, just a second here. Execute. And here we are, working on a Nintendo Switch. Now this is working under Linux for Tegra, which is like a Kubuntu distro for the Switch. Now, it does run, but it runs like shit. That's the only thing I can say about it. Like, the Smacker video decode is very slow for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe there's a miscalculation with the frame rate and stuff like that. There was a warning about integer like size differences and shit. So it could just be calculating the frame rate wrong. I'll have to look into the logs. But in-game doesn't run terribly good either, because it runs okay right here. But the frame rate really struggles in certain areas, and that's because I'm not batching draw calls or anything like that. But she's working. Sorry, I'm not entirely in frame there. It may be a bit blurry, but it is going. Actually, on that note, let me look at that log right now. Then mount failure, not mounted. What? Oh, right, that is correct. Scroll down. Frame care UPF. 50. No, the frame rate and everything is correct. It's just not playing at the proper frame rate. So either the Smacker library that I'm using is just not optimized, Or maybe my playback loop is just not optimized. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Let me switch back to my desktop here. Let's open Visual Studio Code for a minute. What happened to my workspace? Okay, repos. Oh, no, not workspace from file. Add folder to workspace. Add. There we go. I forgot to save my workspace, and I guess I just forgot it. Oh well. Renderer. Let's go into my renderer. GL video. Can't really show all the source code. This is just stuff that I personally written. This isn't any of the stuff that I'm under NDA for. So, this is fine to show. Okay. No, not the Cinepack. It's not calculating average color. It's not. It is clamped. It's fine. Mutable. That is correct. Okay, is freeing the texture. That's fine. That's normal. Update texture data 8-bit. Straw texture. Fidget raw. The thing that makes this really weird is that Cinepack and TVI are fine. So I am tempted to say that my frame rate issues in Smacker playback are having to do with libsmacker and not anything that I've written. I guess it just does not like the Tegra ARM CPU or whatever. God, that actually... I chose C and C++ because that's what it started off as. That's like the language. It actually started off as C, the whole project. But then I've ported almost everything from C to C++. There's a couple files in the source that are still C, just out of requirement. Like for example, I'm using Nuclear as my GUI library. So and that's a C-based library, so like the implementation file for that is in C. Here, I'll show you what I mean. Let me go. Just say I can't show any of like the contents of these because those are all base game files, but stuff that I've written, like for example, anything under TFury wrapper, that's fine. Can't show anything under engine, but backend. This is all my own code written from scratch. Let's see. So TFury Nuclear. This is in C because that entire GUI library is C only. But I do have bindings from it to the other files that are C++, like for example, like the UI, the main UI code here is in C++, but it references the Nuclear C file. Anyway, Yeah, it says, "Behold my messy, kludge-ridden nuclear UI implementation for TFury, code by Jordan Stricker the Hedge Fox Moss. To do, come up with better names for the UI functions, put them into a new file. Also put theming stuff into its own file too to make it a bit cleaner." I gotta remove that part of the comment because I already moved the theming stuff to its own file. But yes, this is a very messy bit of UI code, and there's a lot here. But what can I say? It works. It does the job. This was the effort to replace the old MFC UI that Fury 3 and Hellbender had. If it weren't for this file here and the nuclear one, I would not have been able to run this under Linux. That and the rewritten sound and input systems and stuff like that. I like migrated everything to SDL and for like input and window handling and things like that, and then UI is all nuclear. For parsing like data files for mods, I'm using SJSON. So like, there's a lot of stuff that's like data driven now instead of like being hard coded into the engine. You got like some files here that. Hang on a second here. Go to my home folder here. Repos. Like, yeah, let me go into the base data here. Like, for example, got this folder called game data. And then you got these JSON files that define a bunch of stuff for each game. Like, you got your power-up names and what phrases they play, what sound effects they play when you pick them up. Got the credits instead of being hard-coded to each game. You can define the credits in the JSON. You got things like, of course, like the name of the game, its friendly name. You got the icon for it, for like, so the main menu, you can tell like what kind of icon it uses. Like, here, let me move that out of the way of my webcam so you can see it better. So it's like icon file, Hellbender logo, base pod file, like it tells us like the engine what pod files it should load for that particular game, and supplemental data, so that's like stuff specific to TerminalFury to, like, for example, patch certain parts of the game that are broken or whatever. Just other enhancements. And you like can define things like what ship model, the radius, like the size of the ship model, the engine type, and the offsets of the like the engine trails. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Obviously, it's not complete, and this is probably going to get refactored and changed. So like, you might be defining most of this in Angel script instead of like JSON, because I actually plan on making the entire like game like scriptable with Angel script. Try to like externalize like the enemy logics and stuff like that, so you can like code your own like enemy logics or do your own weapon code and stuff like weapon logic and whatnot. That stuff isn't done yet. Most things are still hard-coded as all hell, but there are, like, as you can see, some things are not anymore. Like, you can change, like, the briefing font color, you can set the screen and subscreen, like, rectangular area and stuff like that. So, like, if you wanted to make a new briefing background and wanted to adjust, like, where it is on the screen and how big it is, you can do that. You can set the base resolution. All kinds of stuff in here. And oh yeah, the default mission files, etc. So that's all stuff that I've externalized. What else here? So yeah, get different stuff for Fury 3. And like, got flags here to change some hard-coded behaviors. So like, for example, there's no cloaking, no headlight, because this is not Hellbender. Missiles have sprite smoke instead of whatever, like the trails. No ship energy, because this isn't Hellbender, you don't have like the energy that you assign. Also, like, you have ones like, hey, tunnels complete objectives. So, like, like one speed running trick in Terminal Velocity in Fury 3 is that if you just blaze past your objectives and find, like, the closest, like, objective tunnel, it clears all the objectives before it. So you can, like, instead of, like, shooting a bunch of targets, if you know what tunnel that you need to fly in at certain parts of the missions, you can just skip everything. It's a speed running trick, and I tried to preserve that. Full shield radius, like, that's just a thing for Hellbender, because, like, in Hellbender, the shield size is divided by 2, that cancels it. Like, just the other, like, hard-coded behaviors that these control. Eventually, I'm probably gonna get rid of all these game flags and just have it, like, be in each individual game's scripts. So the scripts will control the behavior instead of these, like, game flags to toggle hard-coded shit on and off, you know what I'm saying? You got fonts here. There's like definition files for fonts. These all like control like the what uh where each glyph is, its offset, how much each like letter advances the cursor, so on, so forth. And of course, you get your high resolution textures. High resolution textures are something that modders can do already. Just make like a zip file, and you just make the folders like laid out in a similar way, where it's like high res, and then you make a PNG with the same name as the base texture. It'll automatically replace it. One thing though, to load mods, you have to create a file called addons.ini in like the subfolder. Like if I go to test here, like I've got Fury 3, so you got addons.ini, and then oh, hang on. No, I wasn't trying to pop that out there, VS Code. Bear with me. Alright. So yeah, yeah, got addons.ini here, you open that up, and it lists the files that it should load. So like, for example, I got a shaders file, like shaders underscore fury3.tfz, which stands for terminal fury zip. You got bion remnant.tfz, which is like a mod that I'm working on. Which is supposed to be kind of like a bit of a sequel to Fury 3. I'm going to try to get that going. What else? So yeah, contents. So you get your mod data here. All the files should be in lowercase, because there's case sensitivity with FizzFS, which is what I'm using to load the files. And you got addon.json. This is a JSON file that tells it like certain mod specific data. Right now, it just tells it what mission files to load. So yeah, I'm working towards making this a moddable engine. It's got a long way to go, though, because those are all like the only things that really can be modified right now. Anyway. That's all I really got to show today, I guess. Just for shits and giggles, I'll play the first couple of missions of Hellbender. And save my game, and then I'll continue later. So yeah, the Smacker playback's fine here. I don't know why it's so slow on the Switch. Guess the Switch is just that weak.
Welcome, Counselor.
Yeah, it never ends.
The Hellbender's enhanced.
I'm probably gonna be taking a pretty long break here soon, though, because I am starting to burn out pretty hard.
I will guide you through every battle, but winning the war is up to you.
Although I say I'm gonna take a break, I've said that many times, but then I get a new idea of what I want to do, or like the creative drive hits me and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, like go try to get this done. And then I feel like shit afterwards because it's like I end up spending long nights and stuff like that.
Radar.
Tonight is a long night. I haven't had a good night's sleep in probably like 2 weeks. That's how bad I am with that.
Troop transport destroyed. Bion commando transports.
That's why I'm always tired on my streams.
Energy boost secured. Warning. Weapon energy low.
Too many nights of like spending 17 hours straight programming.
Energy boost secured. RFL secured.
But that's also kind of why I was able to make the quick progress that I've been able to make. Yeah. Hellbender in particular was my first like Windows 95 game I ever played, so that's why it's got a special
Energy
spot
boost
for me.
Secured. Mission objective detected. Bion commando transport.
Man, I really wish I could open source this code, because I really could use the help. I really could use the help. There are some things that are just way beyond me that I do not know how to do, or just don't have the energy and, like, wherewithal, I guess, and the knowledge.
Radar destroyed.
Ugh. Like, again, especially the rendering refactors that need to be done.
Checkpoint reached.
Because, like, I want to support things like colored dynamic lighting and a bunch of other stuff, and that'll never get done if I don't get somebody on my team that, like, actually knows how to refactor, like, huge chunks of rendering. Has the energy and the willingness to see that through, because, like me, like, I get discouraged very quickly. Like I'll get something partially working, but then there'll be so many things that are broken that I'm like, oh, I gotta fix this thing and that thing and that thing and the other thing, and things are so fucked now that, like, it's, like, not worth it, and I just end up reverting. Like, sometimes I'll, like, work a week or even 2 weeks on, like, redoing a whole system from the bottom up, and then just throwing it away, because it's like, everything is just so broken that I just get so frustrated and give up. Don't even, like, leave a backup, I just delete it all. It's gone. Because I get that pissed off. Like, I start to get, like, this sucks, this is garbage, I fucking hate it, I fucking hate working on this shit, I hate this code, I hate this game, I hate everything, delete it all. It gets real bad. So I need somebody with more patience than I.
Objective detected.
But I think rather than just feeling like
Fusion reactor destroyed.
I don't actually hate this game, or any of the games for that matter, I get so frustrated that I get burnt out. And just a complete purge, I don't even leave it on a branch, because it's like, I just get so sick of it.
Energy boost secured.
Mainly it's just because I get to the point where I actually begin to just literally hate myself for, like, not getting it and just breaking everything and leaving everything in such a mess. And honestly, it's probably for the better, because a lot of that stuff was just so broken that it just wasn't ever gonna fucking go anywhere.
RFL secured. Dispersion cannon secured.
Most of, to be honest though, like, most of it I still have committed to memory, so, like, if I
Warning.
was
Weapon energy low. Legion missiles secured.
on the right track, I can probably attempt it again.
Legion missiles secured.
Like, I do remember most of the steps to get there. Like, one of the things I was trying to do was refactor the terrain code so that, like, the draw calls were batched by texture. But, like, everything was, like, breaking. Like, there was, like, depth sorting issues. Like, the terrain just wasn't drawing correctly in a lot of situations, and I've also noticed that on most of the platforms that I was testing on, the performance didn't even get any better, so I was like, fuck, like, what am I even doing this for if it's not even, like, gonna,
Mission objective detected.
like, improve the performance? Like, am I just, like, a fucking dumbass? Do I not know what I'm doing?
Missiles secured.
So I was like, okay, into the fucking garbage bin that goes.
Warning. Shield energy low.
That's the struggle that I go through, right? So... yeah, anyway, I don't know. Pardon my rant. This project has been like 50% passion for the game and like 50% torture.
Checkpoint reached. Energy boost secured.
10 years of it. That's how long this project has been worked on. 10 years.
Viper missiles secured. Main energy at 100%.
Yeah.
Helium missile secured.
And I've hit that brick wall many a times. Got some good code out of it eventually, though, for certain things. Like, for example, like I tried to rewrite the sound system, like, probably, like, 4 times.
RFL secured.
I'd get, like, 50% of the way there, and then get frustrated, throw it away. And then eventually, like, I was like, alright, I've thought long and hard about how this is going to go together logically. I know a little bit more about these libraries and shit now. Like, for example, I was going to use SDL Mixer. Didn't really know how it worked, especially with the like the panning and stuff like that of sounds. I didn't know the 3D matrix math and stuff like that associated with getting the panning for, like, pitch, roll, and yaw and stuff like that of the ship. So, like, all that stuff, like, I eventually gave up, and then eventually, like, once I figured out rotation matrices, I was like, okay, I think I know enough now that I can get the sound working with proper panning and all this other shit. Like, distance calculations, I know how to do those properly now. So let's do it, and then eventually I got the sound system done, so... maybe it'll be a similar thing with the rendering, but I don't know. The rendering code is significantly more advanced than the sound code, though. They're, like, more complex, I should say. Especially, like, trying to handle things like terrain wrapping. That's one thing I still can't wrap my head around completely. Like, I got it to the point where it was rendering instanced models on the GPU, like partially anyway. Rather, how would I explain it? Like, all the model rendering and stuff like that was still like one polygon at a time, like from the remnants of the software render, like it is right now.
Sledgehammer rocket secured.
Yeah. And, like, same thing with the terrain. Like, the terrain is uploaded one polygon at a time.
RFL secured.
Which is not conducive to fast rendering at all.
Dispersion cannon secured.
But the thing that I got working, sort of, was having the transform and rotation done, not by the CPU. Because right now, it's done by the CPU. All the rotation matrices, like getting the, like, see, like when I turn my ship, how all the polygons on the screen, like, rotate around the ship, so on and so forth, and as the camera moves, all the polygons move based off of where the camera is, all that shit. That, I got that mostly working on the GPU side. Like, it was mostly rendering correctly.
Mission accomplished.
But, whenever it came to, like, terrain wrapping and stuff like that, it just completely broke down. You would get, like, stretching polygons that went, like, into infinity and other, like, weird rendering artifacts. And, like, tunnels wouldn't render correctly at all. Tunnels were just completely fucking broken. And a bunch of other stuff, so I just kind of gave up. And so I just completely ditched the code that I have. Not completely, I should say. My view rotation functions and stuff like that are still there. They're just not being used right now. There's some stuff that I kept that I'm like, you know what, I could probably reuse this later. If I ever figure this shit out. You know what I mean? There's several batches of, like, old vestigial code that, like, isn't being used right now, but I could potentially reuse later.
Energy boost secured.
Just kind of kept it around, so I'm not starting completely from square one. I don't know.
RFL secured. Dispersion.
Maybe one of these days I'll figure this shit out.
Energy boost secured.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not sitting in any dedicated branch right now. It's just kind of strewn about the code right now. Usually with a comment saying, hey, this is from a failed attempt to do this. This may come in handy later. May not. Don't know. In some ways it's kind of messy that way. I know I get it, but...
Legion missiles secure.
Yeah. Whatever works, I guess. Whatever keeps it around, just in case. Yeah. I guess it's supposed to be, like, implying that there's some kind of organic like something under the surface.
Transport destroyed.
Actually, when you go underground, you can see that some of the walls are breathing as well,
Objective detected.
like gills. It's kind of creepy. Also, one of these days, I'd like to find somebody who can make some artwork for me, like specifically. Hang on. I'd like to see a widescreen friendly version of the cockpit graphics here. Or if maybe somebody can make a 3D version of the Hellbender cockpit that can be ported over to,
Energy boost secured.
like, I don't know, like maybe using one of the Monster Truck Madness model editors, because the main model editor here doesn't work right now. Make a cockpit model and I'll port it over to Hellbender. I don't know, something like that.
Power fully restored. Energy boost secured. Legion missiles secured.
The cut briefing code did like have some information about how like some of these towers like monitor seismic activity, but that's really all it mentions. So I don't know, maybe they're just meant to be
Transport destroyed.
like kind of earthquake shit. I don't know. But again, it still looks too organic for that to be that. I don't know. Yeah, terminal velocity in Fury 3 is, Ooh, cloak! Oh shit, I have no energy to cloak. Have to kill him. There we go. Yeah, they're 3D models. But yeah, so I'd like to have a 3D cockpit for Hellbender eventually.
Hull partially repaired.
That's also another thing. Fucking... Again, the rendering code, like, it's not conducive to adding new model formats. The way the rendering works is that, like, you get a model and it, like, traverses the file structure. And gets, like, the polygon lists from that, and then pipes them to the GPU one by one. And, it's not like, hey, render this model, and then here's the VBOs. Like, it's... yeah. I always thought this looked like a pile of old tires. Yeah, well, that's exactly why the Switch chokes. I know that's exactly why. Although, like, not for the video rendering. I think that's just the smacker decode. But yeah, for the just for the in-game itself, I absolutely know it's just because there's no, like, draw call batching or anything like that. It's just repeated GL draw arrays calls.
Warning, weapon energy low.
Trying to find that animated gills texture I was talking about. Yeah, here it is. Looks like the walls are breathing.
RFL secured. Checkpoint reached. RFL secured. Energy boost secured.
Would have been interesting if they had some additional lore on like why that is. Like maybe there was like a bion experiment that went horribly wrong or whatever. Like
Hull fully restored. Viper missiles secured.
so like it's like consuming the planet or whatever.
Energy boost secured.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely some alien stuff. Very Xenomorph Hive looking.
Viper missiles secured. Energy boost secured.
And you got lots of green liquid here that kind of looks like bile.
Mission objective detected. Energy boost secured. Mining base destroyed. Sledgehammer rockets secured. Energy boost secured.
Click our way around. Where are ya? Right here. One quality of life thing that I did to Terminal Fury here versus the original game is the map is in full color instead of being just like black and white.
Hellion missile secured.
I figured that would make areas easier to recognize. Give the player a better sense of direction. Also color-coded switches and stuff like that, so like a switch that's turned off is red, switch that's turned on is green, doors are blue, so on. Yeah. I used to get lost all the fucking time, especially with the original black and white map, so this was something that I did mainly for myself.
Mission objective detected.
I always get nervous about this part, because that thing can just suddenly close on you as you're flying through and crush you. There's a lot of beginner's trap things in Hellbender. Like rooms where if you shoot a certain switch, it'll crush you. With no indication that it'll do that. It's just like, oh fuck you, you shot the wrong switch, time to die. The last couple missions in the game are really bad for that. Especially Snow City and Shiva. And those polygon explosions on enemies is satisfying. I don't know why that feature was ever cut. Other than performance, I guess, but... yeah. There's a lot of gotcha-type traps in this game. Too many. It's the kind of stuff that really encourages save scumming. Especially in the later parts of the game, like I said.
Warning. Weapon energy low. Mission objective detected. Radar destroyed. Kelton 7 transport center destroyed.
I don't know. Should I just keep on going and try to stay up so I can fix my sleep schedule, or what? I don't know. I feel like if I go to sleep now, I'm gonna, like, wake up at, like, 6 p.m., like, with, like, most of the day gone. Because it's 4:25 a.m. right now, like, as you can see on my taskbar clock there. It's always a dilemma. Oh, fuck, I got no coffee left. Wonder if I should set... yeah, I don't have my usual OBS setup where it's like, I got my, like, BRB screen and all this other stuff. I'm gonna have to try to, like, port as much of my old
shield energy low. Hull undamaged.
OBS setup from Windows to Linux here. But, man, it's gonna be a pain in the ass to recreate everything.
Mission objective detected.
The reason why I'm saying that is just because I was gonna set it to BRB mode where I have, like, my
relay station
avatar on screen in a CRT like display playing different video game music. It says like Striker will be right back.
Energy boost secured. Checkpoint reached. Mission objective detected. Radar destroyed.
You know what I do? Yeah. Save the game here for a second. Yeah, so we're right. I'm just gonna leave this right here like this. I'll be like a minute. I'm gonna get some coffee. You get to see my messy room for a minute. in the back with the coffee. Much better. Anyone still there?
Troop transport destroyed. Troop transport destroyed.
Excellent.
Hull fully restored. Troop transport destroyed. Commando training center destroyed.
Huh.
Hull partially repaired. Energy boost secured. Mission objective detected. Troop transport destroyed. Troop transport destroyed. Troop transport destroyed. Doomsday mine secured. Energy boost secured. Bion commando transports destroyed. Checkpoint reached. Energy boost secured. Hellion missile secured. Hellion missile secured. Dispersion cannon secured. Fusion reactor destroyed. RFL secured. Objective detected. Energy boost secured. Fusion reactor destroyed. Warning. Weapon energy low. Doomsday mine secured.
Hellbender's
Hull
dispersion
partially
cannon
repaired.
is so much better than the one in Fury 3.
RFL secured.
It's actually a powerful weapon here.
Legion missiles secured. Hull partially repaired. Independence missiles secured.
Yep.
Energy boost secured. Doomsday mine secured.
Kind of an energy weapon anyway. And one thing that it's kind of interesting is in the manual, in the lore or whatever, it like kind of shoots these like crystalline structures. Like they're
Main energy at maximum.
they're more of a physical projectile than a an
RFL
energy.
secured.
But it like
Sledgehammer rockets
forms
secured.
them with the ship's energy.
Sledgehammer rockets secured.
It's like energy to matter conversion.
Energy boost secured.
What is hitting me? No, it's like this, like weird. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna dig up something here. Just a second. Never mind, I appear to have misplaced my manuals. I don't know where they are right now. I'll have to go looking for them later, but I was supposed to read the excerpt from the manual. But, whatever. Then you go into like a bunch of detail about how the weapons work and stuff like that, and it's kind of cool stuff. At least I think it was in the physical manual. It might have been in the like the in-game help like manual thing. Not 100% sure. Fucking bugger. Okay, let's see if I can bank that around the corner. There we go. My shields are getting really low. Mm-hmm. At least with Fury
Fragment
3, like,
secured.
like it was more just like a terminal velocity port, but Hellbender was definitely a lot more advanced.
Main energy at maximum capacity. Danger.
Oh, wow.
Hull damage critical.
Wait, hang on. I have a helium missile. This'll get me back up. Yeah.
Energy not required. Reactor destroyed.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of a holdover from the FFF from Fury 3, or the dam from Terminal Velocity. And the manual said something about the, apparently the fuel of the rocket recharges your reactors or something like that. Like, it has some kind of, like, weird energy property. But yeah, it is kind of a weird thing for it to do.
Generator destroyed. Energy not required.
You can see some of my custom bright map work down here, where, like, the lights actually show up in the dark. Mm-hmm. This really makes keeping the Hellion missiles around useful, though. Aside from the fact that they kill just about everything on screen. I just done a big old loop there. Alright. This way. This way, I think? Yep.
Hull fully restored. Mission objective detected.
Am I with racing games? I'm not particularly good at them, but I used to play Monster Truck Madness all the time as a kid. Specifically Monster Truck Madness 2, like the demo of it. Never had the full version of the game, though. But I used to play that farmland track, like, over and over again.
Message pod retrieved. RFL secured. RFL secured.
There we are. How long have I been streaming? 2 hours, 52 minutes. Huh.
Counselor, the message pod you secured is from Rishi, our spy at Bion headquarters. He's discovered secret laboratories they call nurseries, turning out thousands of Bion warriors. This new Bion fighting force is called the Furies. They are invading Erie, located on the wormhole nexus and one of the primary gateways for transportation throughout the universe. The Furies are using the wormholes to send shock troops to scores of coalition planets. Thousands of us soldiers have been overrun and taken prisoner. Counselor, we're at war. Destroy the shock troops before they reach the wormholes. Mark the POW camps with beacons, and we'll send in rescue teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is a feature that I kind of restored. Instead of using the FMV briefings, you got like the kind of TV Fury 3 style ones, but with a little extra flair. You can turn the FMV briefings back on, though, if that's what you prefer. Also, these are all descriptions that I've written because there were no descriptions for anything, because it was a early cut feature. And all this is also I got all the names of the ships from the strategy guide.
Mission objective detected.
I'm gonna save my game because this mission, I have a tendency to fail this one because I accidentally let a
Communications relay station.
Bion transport escape.
Mission objective detected.
These fuckers. You're not getting away from me this easy.
Warning. Weapon energy low.
My legions. Let's get my legion missiles up.
Troop
There we
transport
go.
destroyed.
Make short work of them.
Troop transport destroyed.
I find it funny that this ship always gets stuck down here. That's partially my fault, because I made it so that ships slide when they collide with terrain instead of just clipping through it. Because ships could just fly through terrain in certain situations. And I thought it was kind of bullshit, because basically that ship would just no-clip through the terrain and be like, oh, okay, let's head to my destination. It does eventually find its way, like it does have a path set up. But I am getting screwed up.
Energy boost secured. Checkpoint reached. Mission objective detected.
Well, that was the plan if I got the rendering situation sorted out. I was gonna have, oh, son of a bitch. But yeah, I was planning on having like a Predator-style like light distortion effect at some point once the rendering is properly refactored. I also wanted to like render to a frame buffer instead of just directly to the screen, so that I can do frame buffer effects like bloom and whatnot.
Mission objective detected.
Now mind you, it'll be a very subtle bloom. I don't
Warning.
like
Weapon energy low.
overblown and you'll be able to turn it on or off. But I think it would be kind of cool to have a very subtle amount of it when you're in like in dark tunnels and stuff like that, where all the lights are shining everywhere.
Troop transport destroyed.
But it'd also be useful to do frame buffer effects like lens distortion and stuff like that when you're cloaked. Nope, cloak. Find out where that SAM gun is. Oh, it's over here.
Main energy.
Oh
at
shit! I
maximum.
didn't mean to waste 2 Hellions. Damn it. Damn it, I did not mean to do that. Fucking auto switch.
Transport destroyed.
Oh, my God. Ouch.
Warning. Weapon energy low. RFL secure. Checkpoint reached.
Mouse control? It's planned,
Viper
because
missiles
terminal
secured.
velocity had mouse control as an option.
Legion missiles secured.
It's just that Hellbender's engine gutted all of
Mission
that code
objective
completely,
detected.
so I have to recreate it. Save my game again here.
Danger. Hull damage critical.
Ugh. This is why I wish I didn't use up that other Hellion, but I gotta use this one. The other two Hellions, I should say. Wasn't about to restart the level again. I know there's a way in here. I always get so confused with this.
Troop transport destroyed.
Ah, here we go.
Independence missiles secured.
Found my way in.
Hull fully restored. Scorcher missiles secured. Warning. Weapon energy low. Energy boost secured. Tactical Operations Center destroyed. Hull undamaged. Repairs not required. Checkpoint reached.
more confusion. Where do I go?
Scorcher missiles secured. Warning, weapon energy low. Legion missiles secured. Energy boost secured. Viper missiles secured. Scorcher missiles secured. Hull fully restored. Mission objective detected. Shock troop stronghold destroyed. Mission objective detected. Prisoners marked for retrieval. Mission objective detected. Hull undamaged. Repairs not required. Legion missiles secured. Commando training center destroyed. Warning, shield energy low. Mission objective detected. Troop transport destroyed. Erie Command Center destroyed. RFL secured.
Armor the Valkyrie cannon drops an RFL.
RFL secured. RFL secured. Warning, weapon energy low. Mission objective detected. Communications outpost destroyed. Hull
Nice.
fully restored.
I needed that.
Mission objective detected.
Oh, you're not going anywhere, buddy. You almost escaped.
Sledgehammer rocket secured. Sledgehammer rocket secured. Mission objective detected. Prisoners marked for retrieval.
Oh, nice. That was a good shot.
Mission objective detected. Viper missiles secured. Energy boost secured. Mission accomplished. Proceed to jump zone. Mission objective detected. Communications outpost destroyed. Energy boost secured.
Enemy kind of just stuck in the corner there.
Energy boost secured. Hull fully restored. Viper missiles secured.
I want to improve the terrain avoidance code so they don't get stuck in places like that, but I'm not really, like, smart enough to figure that out.
RFL secured.
Alright, take care. Those mine-laying ships absolutely fuck you up.
Mission objective detected. destroyed. Energy gate secure. Main energy at 100%.
Oh, kind of wasted that capsule. Oh well.
RFL secure. Mission objective detected. Nexus monitoring station destroyed. Mission objective detected. Troop transport destroyed. Danger. Hull integrity lost.
Fuck.
Mission objective detected.
Probably gonna take a rest here soon. I'll finish this last planet and
Mission objective detected. Troop transport destroyed. Troop transport destroyed. Hull partially repaired. Switch activated. Warning, shield energy low. Danger, hull integrity low.
And I saved with such low health.
Mission objective detected. Energy boost secured.
Just trying to find something, anything that'll let me recover my health.
Energy boost secured. Switch activated. Main energy at 100%. Bion technology captured. Mission warning. Weapon energy low. RFL secured. RFL secured. Sledgehammer rocket secured. Hull partially repaired. Energy
there we are.
secured. Legion missile secured. Sledgehammer rockets secured. Switch activated. Main energy at 100%. Bion technology captured.
There. Much better situation now.
Troop transport destroyed. Troop transport destroyed. RFL secured.
Well, you're not getting away, you bastard.
Troop transport destroyed. Legion missiles secured. Hull partially repaired. Mission objective detected. Communications outpost destroyed. Mission objective detected. Bion ground transport destroyed. Mission objective detected. Warning, weapon energy low. Mission objective detected. RFL secured. Tactical Operations Center destroyed. Mission objective detected.
And I used my last Hellion by accident. Fuck.
Relay station destroyed. Energy not required. RFL secured.
I need to stop being a fucking retard with those. Paying attention to when I'm shooting.
Tactical Operations Training Center destroyed. Energy boost secured. Mission accomplished. Proceed to jump zone.
Your beacons have saved many Coalition troops. The debriefing sessions have been informative.
The Bions kept pushing us. Work harder. That's all they ever
Brett
said.
Combs.
I was afraid
It's
to
one of the Terminal
complicate.
Reality employees.
The Bions would take you away. We never saw those poor bastards again.
I don't know what we were working on, but whatever it was
Mark
big.
Randall.
They
Yeah.
called it Shiva. Twice a day, they made us stop work and bow down to some monster called FX4.
Our Bion spy, Rishi, has gotten close to this new Bion leader, FX4.
They are so simple-minded. To them, we are something to scare their children with. Be good, or the Bions will take you away. They created us to fight, then told us to stop fighting. They tried to exterminate us. Shiva will be our revenge. You Nyx will protect Shiva. Destroy the Hellbender and the pilot who flies it. And you, my precious, will cripple the Coalition's defenses, rendering them useless. When we have finished, the last thing the Terrans will hear is the sound of their children screaming.
Rishi was discovered by the Bions shortly after he shot this video. He's fled to the planet Iowa, where he's being hunted by Nyx. Your mission: clear a path for Rishi and escort him to safety.
Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.